let me say this real quick, and this may be a little bit controversial, so
Mhm,
we'll see. I believe that you can be demon possessed and not know that you're demon possessed. And this
mhm,
is what I mean by that. There are different levels of possession, right? But then there are other times where, because of the decisions that you make consistently, you now come in agreement with the spirit. And because you're in agreement with the spirit, that spirit now has control over you, right? But as some time had progressed, I gave my life back to Christ, but there were still some different struggles and things that I was going through. And there were still some spirits that I was still in agreement with that still controlled me from time to time. And so sometimes spirits lie dormant.
mhm.
And so you don't think that you're possessed until that girl you're not supposed to be sleeping with, you sleeping with her. If the Holy Spirit is in you and if the Holy Spirit is ruling and reigning and the Holy Spirit is in this whole entire room, then you're not doing those things that you're not supposed to do. And so there may be like I said, I think there's levels of possession, but I'm telling you that you will most likely really kicking it with them. So I do want everybody that is watching to know that sometimes there are some things that you're dealing with that, well, everything is spiritual, but there are some things that you're dealing with that is spiritual. I keep on doing the same thing over and over and over that I don't want to do. But that's because that's a spirit thing that needs to change. That is some deliverance that needs to happen. So that's why it's important to be connected to a house of God, a good house of God. That's why
Yes.
it's good to have a spiritual father or a mother who can help guide you through these situations. Because yeah, we're talking and having this discussion and sharing our own experiences, but the fact that people do have demonic possessions or demonic alliances is real. It is extremely important to be in a place to where your spirit is pure when you are creating content, right? Because how your spirit is when you're in the booth and recording, that's what's coming through the speakers. How your spirit is when you're acting on set, that is what's coming through what we're watching and what we're seeing. And the thing is, as little creatives, we are responsible for what it is that we produce, and we're also responsible on how our spirit and mindset is when we are working and when we are acting and when we are doing anything, right? No, we don't want to be individuals who are making demonic content. When I say demonic content, I'm saying content that is unlike God. When I'm saying demonic content, I'm saying content that is feeding the flesh and doing things that's feeding lust and feeding addiction and feeding greed and feeding fear.